Joel.
Joel and Richard.
Joel and Richard.
Good.
I'm going to just clear all these notifications from my screen.
Yeah, do you mind if we do the same?
They keep popping up. All right, guys. All right, so this is my first time on the app. If you guys want to go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Yeah, same. Yeah, this is actually our first time, and we were just commenting now how incredible it is that we can sit in the comfort of our home. Same with you, to be able to do something like this rather than dancing around a boardroom table.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. I love the app, love the idea. And
I'm Joel, 22. This is Richard, he's 35. We connected together about 2 years ago to start our business called GoLab. Mm-hmm. Richard I'm going to actually let Richard explain his background and I'll explain mine, and you'll see how the two common visions kind of met together.
Yeah, so sorry, I've been kind of in the technology space for quite a few years. Worked in London for about 4 or 5 years, and then obviously came back to South Africa. Did a trip through Africa, went through 30 different countries to go and kind of explore the problems and see where there were possible solutions. Obviously noticed there was a lack of exposure around the technology kind of front, and everyone seems to have a cell phone but not really understand the first thing about what goes into kind of making an app that goes into a cell phone and makes your cell phone useful, as well as obviously the hardware that they obviously use to make cell phones. So it's obviously just a frustrating place because we know all the possibilities that are out there in the global world, but obviously it hasn't really been exposed to the general South African person yet. So yeah, obviously realized that we needed to educate people and expose people to things, and so myself and Joel.
So yeah, we essentially met up. I had just dropped out of university. I spent my schooling career literally trying to get out of the schooling system, and only to find myself leaving school, dropping out of varsity, and starting to design a model for education that essentially was a full holistic model that encompassed individualized learning. So often what you find in schools is that learners are often taught what to think rather than how to think. We started at one of the private schools in Durban, South Africa, where we created a pilot model of a classroom that allowed for learners to come in and explore all their creative potential. All we provided them was the tools that they needed, and those were 3D printers and a range of other tools like electronics and laser cutters. And what this essentially allowed them to do was come into this classroom and create things that are relative to them. So when understanding in different kind of concepts within education, whether it's maths, we focus on STEAM, so science, technology, engineering, art, and math. Those kind of outcomes become extremely relative. So far, we've created GoLab, which is now integrated into 13 schools after that first year's pilot. And since then, we've made some really awesome milestones with the team that we've built, as well as the academic content that we've put together around this entire program.
What's the website again? What's the URL?
golab.co.za.
So where it becomes
co.za.
ZA?
ZA. Yeah. Sorry, ZA, yeah.
So what we've realized is that education it's predicated off the Industrial Revolution. So essentially everything that met the needs of the Enlightenment, and it stays rather static since then. What we've noticed is that that's not going to change overnight. But however, what our solution provides is more of a catalyst for that change. So what we found is that on the entrance of going into a school, there's maybe out of everyone that's in that community, 10% of them are kind of a bit hesitant, wondering, what is this going on? And slowly we kind of get buy-in and show that this is kind of a way forward.
But just to jump in here, within the classroom themselves, the kids are really excited to be in the classroom, which is obviously quite a change of pace.
What classrooms are you planning on putting this? What grades?
Yeah, we set up these classrooms with, as Joel mentioned, with all the equipment.
Grade 3 to matric.
Okay, yeah.
So it's grade 3 to matric.
Grade 3 to grade 12.
To grade 12, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
So
this is okay. So you want just trying to wrap my head around the product here. You want to make a class in school, but just in South Africa schools?
No, not at all. So we've already built it in 13 schools around the country. If you check our Facebook page, you'll see some of the pictures of some of the classes and some of the activities engaged with. So far, we've had really great feedback and really fruitful results out of it. What's quite interesting now is that we get to create a business with inside an existing infrastructure. So a school is essentially, paid us to build a lab, and then thereafter we're offering services like an extracurricular program and holiday clubs or camps. So essentially, the business model around it is rather fantastic. We get to, again, run a business out of an existing and direct market.
I wish I had this when I was in school.
No, that's pretty much what every parent says when they come into the classroom, and a lot of the schools are also now using it as a kind of their marketing tool. So as the parents are coming through to decide whether they want to send their kids to that school or not, the first classroom they take them to is our classroom, because obviously it's lovely, it's branded, it's colorful, it's exciting. Yeah. So
I'd say it's a really good idea. I think it's so cool that you're not targeting public schools, more like the charter schools and private schools, right?
We'd like to, and obviously we have worked on that in the past. I'm not going to go into our government schools just yet, as far as the problems that go along with them. But we're within the private schools at the moment. But we'd like to trickle it down into those schools as soon as possible, as we obviously grow to that capacity.
So right now, if we look at our kind of pricing model, it's just below like a premium pricing at the moment. But the idea is we would like to get to a penetration pricing of our actual labs, so that the more Model C schools, semi-private, semi-government, are able to integrate this. You asked a moment ago, is this just for South Africa? Both myself and Richard from the beginning have been in the back of our heads creating this as a white label solution, so that we can essentially copy and paste it in any school around the world. It looks like we've just got our first who actually moved from South Africa, and I've got a meeting with her tomorrow, so that will be our first step into country kind of relations.
And how big are you as far as like your local area? You said you've gotten into how many schools and how many?
13. We're across the country. Actually, yeah.
And what countries?
We're across South Africa, and then as
South Africa now.
Yeah, and we've the group that we're working with actually has a portfolio of over 100 schools. So we've been we were given one, then obviously the next year we were given another 12.
Pictures of what the classroom looks like?
Yeah, if you go to our Facebook, or if we can kind of maybe we'll try and get you some images, and there's some videos and marketing material that we've already got out there on YouTube and on.
I see the Go Lab extramurals, where bright minds explore their potential, discover their passions.
So the extramural services have been running quite nicely this year. In the future, we plan on releasing additional courses for parents to come in and get involved with their kids in the classroom. So where some kids might not be exactly sporty or getting involved in that side, they can engage with their parents and find.
I know, because my son, he's 6 years old. He goes to a charter school. It's not like a private school you pay for, but a charter school that they're still publicly ran. And there's like after school programs that you kind of like pay extra for. They have like Lego and
we do Lego.
Extra. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it was like $5 to $20 for just our kid to have an after school program class. Is it you're trying to get this in actual replacement of like science class, or being in the curriculum itself, not like after school program?
Within the school's curriculum too, so we actually do the classes utilized during normal school hours, and then after school we do 2 extramural classes of an hour each, where the kids sign up per term, and obviously they get to.
I guess so. What are the costs, and what are you charging? I mean,
would you like me to give it to you in dollars or rand?
Dollars.
Okay, so let me just pull up X here quickly.
So off the top of my head, for a term, which is essentially 15 lessons, you're looking at about just less than $100, which is equivalent to 1,500 rand an hour.
Yeah, that's about 14 lessons over that term.
This is the cost, your cost, or what you sell it for.
Oh, so what we're selling it for? So our costs. If you don't mind, could I please email you an entire financial?
Yeah, we don't have to get involved in that on the live because we don't want everybody. I mean, I'm not sure like who watches this, but yeah, we can get more details offline.
Let me put it to you differently. Our overheads are pretty much covered because we're building a lab within an existing infrastructure.
Yeah, so we're not burdened with the monthly rental that obviously a lot of companies have to deal with, electricity, insurance.
You got your cost of setting up. I'm just trying to see what the classroom looks like. What your costs?
Our setup costs are covered by the actual school, and we're making about a 33% margin on them.
So you have teachers, specific teachers that have to go in to teach this, or you give the curriculum to teachers to learn?
Yeah, so we offer a training service, which obviously comes along with the package to the teachers or to the school, where they're allowed to obviously choose three of the teachers in the school to come and do the training with us. And then we put the schools with a facilitator on top of that, who we train up and get them prepared and skilled and passionate about obviously what we're doing, so that they can kind of obviously keep the kids as excited as obviously we keep them when they're in the classroom. Because it's a new technology around the world and a new way of teaching. So we've obviously got to train our facilitators to obviously express that excitement.
And more so with regards to the facilitators and the educators around this lab. It's more, again, as I said in the beginning, it's not teaching the kids what to think, but rather how to think. So it's developing those 21st century thinking skills. And when you look at the places, the likes of MIT, etc., they're now looking at kind of what students have made in their schooling career rather than kind of their score tests. And that's just that kind of major change in a Ivy League university is a great indication of where everything is kind of going. Over and above that, with the e-learning platform that we provide the students, they get kind of their skills get monitored on a competency framework, so that by the time within 5-10 years, once this kid has gone through our classroom, by the end, he's got a living CV or she's got a living CV of all their competencies, all their projects they've engaged with, and everything from communication skills right to
all the digital files they created. So as we're teaching them how to do 3D design, 2D design, and coding.
I have to tell you, like, I come from, I'm a mechanical engineer myself. I went to 5 years of college, mechanical engineering. I started a mechanical engineering firm selling auto parts with Treadstone Performance. So I've purchased my own 3D printers before. I purchased laser printers before. So all this stuff kind of intrigues me. So, I mean, it's right down my alley.
No, perfect.
It's fantastic. So we've actually reached a rather interesting stage in our careers. Everything has kind of gone a lot faster than anticipated with the growth and the interest that has been sparked. And I especially think within the African continent, there's a huge opportunity for this gap. And as Richard was saying, during his travels, the exposure is just not there.
Yeah.
Keep on getting messages. They're just clogging up my phone. Sorry. I mean, this is something that it could be, worldwide and schools across America too. I mean,
it should be. It definitely should be, in our opinion. Yeah, because it's a kind of this global shift that we're all going through right now. That obviously there's not many places that are prepared for it. I know Finland's obviously a bit ahead of the game when it comes to this kind of thing. But there's no reason why we all shouldn't be kind of catching up too. So it's definitely a global solution in our opinion, and it links people with the relevant skills to each other too, which is quite interesting. So it gets the right people, the engineering guys talking to the.
Sorry to interrupt, Joe. What are you guys seeking? What do you guys need help with? Money or marketing?
So we're looking for a capital investment to help with some development costs that we've still got with our academic content, with the expansion of our e-learning platform, as well as our team.
But with your marketing skills that you seem to have, and it's quite impressive, obviously that'd be quite helpful too. So we're not only looking for obviously an investment, we're looking for the right person to invest so that we can kind of grow this together.
So what Richard and I have realized is that Richard's on a technical level, I'm quite good down on the ground. On an operational level, what we're looking for is someone in the background supporting this business and guiding us to be able to grow to the potential we know we want to take it to. We both
and that the world needs us to take it to, in all honesty, not to get ahead of ourselves, but
Well, would you have I guess we could talk offline a little bit more. I mean, yeah, I'm definitely interested. I would be definitely looking forward to some kicking around some ideas, because not only can I, a great marketing tool I have with the Instagram page and what I've done so far with that page. It's just crazy the opportunity that social media has brought the world. Pretty much. It just blows my mind.
I have to ask, have you had any engagement with Gary Vaynerchuk during your time of working?
I was the first page he ever paid to promote on Instagram, probably.
Oh, wow.
One of the first.
So yeah, I follow his content quite a bit and see what he does, and just looking at how he describes like the evolution that we're taking place, especially with social media and producing your own content. And this is, it dovetails exactly where we're feeding, where these learners are not just, absorbing the content we're providing, but creating solutions around the United Nations 17 Sustainable Goals, and putting it out there to the market. And as a final point, the considering your love for entrepreneurship, the fifth level of competency with academics is where the kids learn how to take this product to market and actually get it off the ground. So if they design something within electronics and they want to actually turn it into a business, we've got a course and a module they can go through.
And that's more, I guess, for the upper grades, 10, 11, 12th grade type stuff.
Yeah.
But quite surprisingly, what I've noticed is some of the younger kids, even down to the age of 9 years old, have managed to come up with some super, super impressive innovations that kind of blew our minds.
And even just that entrepreneurial spirit. Last year there was that fidget spinner craze that came and thankfully left. It came and
thankfully left.
But all the kids in the classroom to make their own fidget spinners and sell them to the other kids. And I thought, well, that's quite and those were like grade 3s, grade 4s, grade 5s. So it was quite impressive to see the youngsters also kind of getting on the entrepreneurial kind of bandwagon.
Yeah, it's so cool. All right, I mean, definitely looking forward to seeing what we can culminate.
Is it possible if we could please take this conversation offline and I can email and send you some of our business information, just so you can do a bit of a due diligence and see
whatever else you obviously need to have a look through.
Sounds good. All right, guys, I appreciate the pitch, the first one. I think it went well.
Yeah, thanks very much. Thank you.
Cheers.
Cool. Cheers. Lovely to meet you.
All right, guys. I'll catch you offline.
Perfect.
Thanks, Pitch Investors Live.
Yes, thank you very much, Pitch Investors. Well done to your team for
connecting us. Well done on the app. I have to say this is an amazing app as well. I'm looking to help them market this as well, because this is a great tool to connect investors and marketers and entrepreneurs. So looking forward.
Creative use of the blockchain too.
Yeah, for sure. All right, guys. I'll catch you.
Cheers. Bye.
I'll message you.
Cheers.